I'm buying my own domain. I'm buying my own email box to make it official because Google's not professional, okay? Everyone, Shawnee here. So this is probably going to be a really short video. I don't know. But anyways, so I am preparing to launch my pre-launch. So the thing is I was thinking, should I just, build the application and, get it done and release it to the world, and then my users will come, or, leave caution to the wind. And I was like, no. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I believe in this project way too much to just leave caution to the wind, and I feel in my heart that this will help people. That is truly, truly my goal, is to, help people master mathematics, because it's worth mastering. The thing is I'd rather spend the time to actually build up an audience now while I'm building it, so that I can have real people actually test it. The people who will actually be using it can test it and tell me, oh yeah, this is on track, or no, this is not working. Because then at that point I won't spend as much time, wasting time instead of putting that time into something that'd be way more beneficial. So what I've decided to do is kind of build this right now, because I am building it as we speak. It's not done. I'm refactoring the crap out of it because I realized that there was a feature that, like the logic feature, really needed to be way more extensive than I originally had built out. So I've already done that piece. The other piece I'm currently working on has to do with how the users are going to actually create what they need to create out of it. I haven't, sent it to testers. I haven't sent it to Apple. I'm still building it out. But while I'm building it out, I was thinking, you know what? I should just go ahead and create the app's landing page now. Get the word out there now before I even, send it, to be tested, do the test flight thing and whatnot. So that's what I decided to do. You can view that in a little bit. I'll probably have a link to my app's launch page or landing page down below in the comments, or it might appear somewhere up here. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, so that's where I'm at right now. So I'm still kind of building it out. I have a lot more stuff I need to build out. There's a lot more stuff to do, whatnot. The thing is when I was reading the book, My Personal MBA, I think that's what it's called. I'm going to drag it out again. Yeah, the Personal MBA. So what I learned from the Personal MBA is that you have to build out your models, your mental models. And since I'm completely new at this, one of the mental models I decided to kind of build out is your why. And I've discussed your why, or your reasons for doing something, back in the my first video for this series about setting goals, where I say, what is your why? The same thing applies to anything you're building. You have to define your why, because your why, once it's defined, it will provide you with some reassurance when you have doubts that come up, or when you come across something that you're trying to implement and you just can't friggin' figure it out. You can say, okay, take a breath. Why are you doing this? And it'll ground you. So, and I've actually used this to ground me like repeatedly during this whole entire process. I mean, I've done this to actually, release these videos. So, because to be honest, I'm absolutely completely terrified of this process. Just even releasing these videos is terrifying. Not long talking about trying to sell an application that I'm building and the ideas behind it. It's tough. And so if you don't have your reasons why you're doing it, you will be adrift, okay? Just saying. Anyways, another thing that I got from that book is that you don't need to have necessarily a very well-written business plan to launch whatever you're trying to launch. And that was really refreshing for me, because I was thinking, well, It's either you build out this huge, nice, elaborate business plan. I mean, I would understand a business plan if you're going to try to get angel investors, you're trying to get funding and all this jazz. I'm not. This is a one-woman show, okay? I'm doing this all by myself. I'm building out everything by myself. I'm not seeking a partner because, yeah, it's too much in its infancy to really even go through the hassle of doing so. And because I'm building everything out myself, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for me to do this. So I wrote a loosey-goosey business plan. And really, it's based off of really understanding the functions of this app and said business. Okay, so the first thing I did was I was reading the Launch Your Dream book. And in that book, the gentleman suggested that you define your why, or the whyology. So basically, define what's your why, your how, and your what. And once I did that, I was like, okay, this is great. This will get me started in the process of actually creating my loosey-goosey business plan, as I like to call it. Because literally, doing the business plan only took me about 2 hours. Actually, about like an hour and a half. And I'm not even completely done. There were some questions that I just didn't know the answer to because I couldn't find the answer to them. But I think once I get this started and I start actually, focusing on, getting this rolling, I think I will eventually find the answers to those questions that I haven't been able to answer. So that was huge. Another huge part of actually doing the business plan. And the thing is in the Launch Your Dream book, I believe it's day 7, he actually lists out a list of questions for developing your business plan. That's what I used. So again, I didn't make it pretty or anything. I just put the questions, wrote out the questions in Text Wrangler, and just typed it out. I didn't even do anything fancy. There's no formatting. I just typed it out. The one thing that definitely didn't apply to me at all as far as funds or funding for this project is that I'm self-funded. I'm bootstrapping it again. I'm going to mention that again. I'm bootstrapping. So I don't need to raise money. I updated my licensing for Sketch. I am creating my own website from a template. I'm also going to pay for my app developer account with Apple, and I'm buying my own domain. I'm buying my own email box to make it official because Google's not professional, okay? So another thing that I did was in the book, he also suggested to define your mission statement, your vision, and your core values. And that was really helpful because it allowed me to really think about what was most important about doing this application. What is my mission to do? And along with the whyology part, it really fit really well with what I needed. Another thing that I found really helpful is the vision, writing out the vision, where you see this product doing in 2 to 5 years. And doing that was like mind-blowing in the sense that it's like, okay, this could be something if I truly believe it can be. And then aligning with my core values, how can this be an extension of myself to help someone else? So it's all really good. Just saying, if you're planning on building an application, I would suggest writing just a very loose business plan, because then it can help you keep you on track, and give you the motivation to finish it as well as to promote it, because it comes from within you and you want to give to the world. So that's what I suggest. Write out a rough business plan. Very rough. Even if you don't know all the answers right now, just having something on paper, literally and figuratively on paper, will help you out. Another thing that I did is I wrote out my user story for the application. In my case, most cases though only have one user, so write out your user story. be creative with it. I was creative with mine. I literally went on Unsplash and looked for, some images that kind of resonated with me, with who I thought my user might look like. I gave them a name, a day, like how old they were, where they live, their thoughts, their dreams, their pet peeves, and laid it all out so that once I, had it there, I can say, okay, does this feature fit to what this person's needs or wants are? So once you have that laid out, it keeps you really focused, like laser focused on what's most important. Another thing that I did that might not apply to you is I actually have technically 2 users for my application. I have a teacher and I have a student. The teacher is my primary user, so I really think about how she's going to develop this, how she's going to help out her students, and then the second part is the student, because the student is going to be learning. It's their education. They have to be engaged. So I also have to think about what would make it more engaging for them as well. So again, not all apps have this aspect. Most of the times you're going to only have one user and you need to define that user. And that's like one of the things I learned slowly, and only from a friend who is actually in marketing told me, no, your app can't be for everyone. You have to be very narrow and focused on one set of users because it won't apply to everybody. And a uniform message does not apply to everyone and doesn't appeal to everyone. You have to be really narrow on who you're targeting. So that's why I did my user stories, and I recommend you do that too, because it won't necessarily apply to everybody. And even if it does apply to everybody, right now at the beginning you kind of have to apply it to only a subgroup of people so that you can reach them, and then eventually they can trickle it to everybody else. But that's who you need to focus on. So that's what I did. Another thing that I'm doing to prep for my pre-launch is building out my mock-ups. So again, I did update my licensing for Sketch. I'm not using Adobe Creative Studio because it's way too much for what I need, and Sketch is way easier and more conducive to people who develop assets for the web or for applications. So that's what I'm using. I've already created my logo. I've already determined my fonts. I've already determined my color scheme. Now I just have to build my freaking landing page. That's basically where I'm at right now. I have everything set out and ready to go. I've already bought my domain, and literally I've already kind of picked out the template I'm going to use, my HTML, CSS, JS template, and I just have to build it out. So that's what I'm going to do. So, whoo, almost there. So next time I'll most likely cover what I'm doing for my pre-launch buzz, or how I'm trying to generate an audience. So we'll see how that turns out. It's gonna be a lot of work, so yeah, I'm gonna have fun next week. All right, if this video has helped you out at all, give it a thumbs up, or if it's been entertaining, thumbs up. If you want to stay alerted or given a notice or whatever, just subscribe below, click the bell, the deal. All right, till next time, friends.